Bring a plate.
Very good question, David. What influenced you to leave Trinidad and Tobago? Why America? Do you see yourself permanently back in Trinidad and Tobago at any time in the future? I'm in the same boat and I know your answers. Just curious to hear yours. David, you know you don't give easy questions, you know, David. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, I will start to answer that question that Nicola answered until Mama Coco gets back. Like I said, I helped raise my younger brother and sister. So I think I know what it takes to raise a little girl. But I feel now that I'm a mother and in this time and space that there's something different about raising a girl. You have to pay more attention in certain ways that I can be a little, looser with my son. Like, like I said before, I'm a carnival baby. So every carnival I'm in Trinidad for my 2 weeks. Yes, mama deserves her time. So, and he could stay home with dad and they kick the breeze. If I have a daughter, I would not, I don't know if I would do that. Because she's a girl and she needs me around, and maybe she'll be on the plane with me because mama do need her time, right? And grandma is home and we could pay somebody to help through her eye if that's what it takes. But carnival is a must. Carnival is life. I just think that having a boys are a little, it might be seen as a little easier. But I will say that I had an experience with someone who, a male, who told me that they were sexually abused by family members, by a family member. And that changed my perspective on how loose you can be with a boy. Thankfully, I will always credit his dad. He's an awesome father. And that's the reason why I can take certain liberties and not be there. But we used to think that you could, you worry with girls because somebody will interfere with her, which I think in and of itself is a wrong way to say things. People don't interfere, they molest, they sexually abuse, they have sex with, we need to call it what it is, they rape and they bugger, right? And after I spoke to that person, yes, Patrice, boys do get abused. A big man told me this. And when he shared with me the trauma of being sexually abused from maybe about 9, 10 to about 13, I started to, look at my son. I came home that day and I said to my son, I said, listen, nobody's to touch your privates. Nobody's to show you their privates or you to touch their privates or do anything with their privates. I said, nobody's to tell you that you have any secret you need to keep away from me. I said, I am your best friend. You tell me everything. So while there might be little things we think, they are different in raising boys and girls, we are living in a very serious time. And, these things have been happening for years. People have been hiding that they've been abused by family members. So I think in some ways, while as a woman, you may not be able to give them, certain knowledge base as far as puberty and how the body might feel like a father would, speak to brothers, speak to uncles, let them give them that. They need it. Don't let them, go on their own knowledge or search for it, because that is where they become victims, boys and girls, right? And Jamila is saying that you are, I think she's going to say you are correct. 1 out of 6 boys are sexually abused. Yeah. So we can't let anybody, become a victim, any of our children, because we think that is a boy is okay. No, it's not okay. And then we raise boys and we tell them, you're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to show emotions. So when these little boys are abused, whether by male or female, they have this high sense of shame. And this is what was explained to me. This person was so ashamed because he got an erection. And because he got an erection, he was confused about his role in his abuse. He figured he had to have liked it because he got an erection. So he kept that sick secret and allowed that person to continue to abuse him until he was able to physically leave and be fine enough that they couldn't get to him anymore. So we have to be very careful. Exactly, Gloria. The same rules apply to boys and girls when we're, raising them. But of course, there are things that will differ because of gender.
So I had a question for you, Allie. You said we should, if we as women can't talk to our sons about puberty, we should send them to brothers, uncles, male cousins, right?
Right.
So
if you trust them
for information. That's the thing I was getting to. We're sending them for information, and these are the same people that may turn around and abuse our little boy.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, Princess. Let me put a caveat with that. Right? Only allow your children to be exposed to people that you can trust. And even in that trust, you have to keep a cocky eye on them. Because to be honest, let me tell you something. You have to develop that relationship with your children where they know that they can come to you with any and everything, so that nobody from the outside can come and tell them, hold a secret, I touch your penis, but don't tell mommy. My son know if anybody touch his penis, mommy going and kill them, and that's a party done.
Yeah.
Party done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that word sounds good, but you have to be careful, because if he knows that he's gonna lose his mother for life and she will commit murder and go to jail, he may not tell you either.
Well, I was being a little over the top with that mother, Coco, but he knows that not really, but he knows that I will handle this situation. You have to have this trust with your children. You have to build this relationship with your children where they feel open and they know that there's a safe space for them to come and tell you, uncle touched my penis, and I don't care if uncle is your man, your brother, or the priest, or daddy.
Yeah, so it's a great idea, a great policy, and you know how much kids get abused because they hear, if you only talk, I'm gonna kill your mommy, or if you only talk, I'm going to poison you, I'm going to poison your mommy. So the kids now want their mommy, they love their mom, so they put up now a protective shield, not over what happened to them. That's a secret they're keeping, but they're protecting you. So it's a two-way street. And we got to get our messages across.
Mama Coco, you have to talk to your children
in
a way that they understand. Because when you're telling someone this person cannot hold a secret, like with my girlfriends, this is how I say to my girlfriends. I say, if somebody come and tell you, Ali say something about you, tell them, hold on, you're going and check with Ali. So I am telling my friend, before you get comfortable with the idea that, first of all, as my friend, you have to be strong enough and be willing to lose the friendship of that person who's coming to tell you something and say, well, okay, you say Ali say my mother green. Okay, well, I go into Ali and actually she says so, because you have to be willing to lose that friend, because that person will say, well, don't go and say, I say, anytime I say something, Mother Coco, please take it back to whoever I say it to. I don't have a problem.
Because you know what you're saying is true.
That is the point.
There again, we have opposite sides of this conversation, because we have the parents now who your children coming to tell you, that like your daughter coming to tell you that your man, that uncle, the man that the mother bringing that she doesn't know any bloody thing about. She had no patience with daddy, but she take up this man who worse than daddy with the behavior and the lifestyle, and you bring them in, and the first thing women they look to tell their daughters, you want to break up, you want to break up me living, and you want to come in my space, and you put on clothes, stop life on the man. Man, I watch you. You know you're there with the boy down the road, and it's a man that doing the crime. What you saying about that?
Mama Coco, first and foremost, when you have a child, right? As a mother, if you have a child in a relationship and that relationship ends, you have to understand what you become to that child before you decide to bring somebody else into the dance. Okay?
Whether you're a mother of sons or mother of daughters and sons.
Mother and son. And you know what, Mother Coco? This applies to men too, because we have men who are single fathers. And if you bring a woman into this space, right, your child should be a priority. And if you have somebody who has a problem and is competing with your child, that should be a red light. That's a red light.
Because women abuse boys too.
Oh yes. When you were
I had this story where this guy told me his godmother took his virginity.
While you were out, Mama Coco, I was telling my fellow panelists and our audience that it is a male, a grown man, who told me that a family member, a woman, abused them from about the age of 8 to about 13. She messed him up. And he never told, as he told me, I was the first person he told, and this was a man who was married, had children, was married several times. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a society where we tell boys you cannot cry. We tell boys to stop. And then this same society also says that if a man does the same thing to a little girl, that is rape and abuse. But if a woman do it to a boy, he get experience, he break out.
Right.
Exactly.
You understand?
That's what we're talking about.
Child.
This is what this life is about to give.
So
this life is all about. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we need to keep the message consistent, whether you're the mother of a boy or a girl. And look, Jamila is saying some women force sexual acts on their sons too. I recently spoke to a man who told me, I'll tell you again, this is why I thought I was going to be a psychologist, that he had sex with his mother.
Oh.
Yes, for years.
Wow.
It's a relationship for years. And he told me again, I don't even know why I'm telling you this, Ali. Something about you, Ali. And I'm like, yeah, boy, something always about me. Something about me. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. There are boundaries, Mama Coco. People are crossing boundaries. So when you have a child, and people tend to think that myself and my son father, we are overprotective. I say, yes, we are. It's either I go and he stay with my son, or he goes and I stay with our son, or all three go. But since I've had my son, we have never dropped my son off to a friend because we go in a party. You know, Fed, that's important.
Yeah.
There is, Mama Coco, I could count on my hand how many people have seen my son in his 14 years, because I don't play that. There is nothing more important than the welfare of my son. And to be honest, I am more of the harder parent than his father. His father just still call him baby, yeah? Look, leave my baby alone. Big horse, big giraffe passing me like if I'm in the zoo. That my baby. Look, my baby. You know, so he is worse with me. Like I would say, oh, well, we're going somewhere. From the time I see that man, I start to roll up like this. I say, oh, God, here when he won, one going away. Because Mama Coco, when you have children, you have a responsibility. Totally.
Yes, the game is different.
Totally.
The game is different. So what is your one goal for the rest of 2020? Let's see what Nicola Hinds have to say.
Hi. So my rest of my goal for 2020, I'm in school. I'm just focusing on school and focusing on the well-being of my mom and my kids, because my mom is a cancer survivor. So I whatever I do, it reflects around them. So that's my main goal for 2020. Keep trusting in God and focus on doing my best and proving people wrong on a day-to-day basis.
Nice. Any hindrance that you see coming up?
When there's a price you pay for success, and I've been under a little trench for now, but I know that I can conquer anything that comes my way, because I am a child of God and a true believer, and I know He don't give me nothing more than I can bear. But I'm hoping that with COVID and all of this, it didn't stop me, because I've worked every day since COVID. from since March. I've never called out from work. I'm there. I've been working 16 hours sometimes on the units in the ICU. I mean, I'm a strong woman.
Hey, you wake me up. I think I was napping off of my fingers. No, but when I hear you say strong woman, I have to say, hey.
Yeah. So I will.
That is Allie Gee. That is Allie Gee water, and that is Princess water. I'm a what? Repeat.
Strong
woman.
Strong.
So can the woman raise the fist? Can we raise our hands?
Yes.
In salute. We ain't talking dumb men, but we are strong women.
Yes.
Hallelujah this day.
Yes.
So the question rolling over to my girl Allie Gee. What is your one goal for the rest of 2020?
Mama, I intend to survive COVID. COVID has taken me out. I intend to survive COVID. That's one of my goals because I have friends, close friends, and even my aunt who was a patient suffering with COVID, and it's not easy. My friend almost went over. So I am determined to survive COVID, and I am also mentally building. I am mentally building myself up because I am feeling within my spirit, Mama Coco. I know you will understand this when I talk about it. There's a wind of change blowing in my life right now. There's a new chapter to begin. And it is very strong. I feel it I know when that feeling is coming over me. I know what that means. That means that Allie, it's time to turn the page. And in the interim of that, Mama Coco, I know you asked one goal, but I just kind of summing up what it is 2020 is going to be for me. I'm going to continue with my charity work.
I was now about to, we were going into charity after, but go ahead. And what is your charity work all about?
My charity work is to help. I primarily worry about people on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago. Like I said, it's not political Sunday, but it is a known fact that I'm a very political person and I'm very vocal.
Oh, well, you could hold that until the other question.
Okay.
And we're gonna get to anything that we have to end with. You could speak.
Okay.
But Princess, do you have any set goals or goals for 2020?
The main one for me would be my education, finishing up my classes so I can be out graduating next spring. Hopefully we can walk across that stage. But that's my main goal, finishing up with my education and basically just being safe and keeping my kids safe.
Yeah.
And keep your kids safe.
Mm-hmm.
You even have to keep the man that's in the house there safe. Yeah, because if he unsafe, everybody else could be in jeopardy. So although we don't want to go there, we still have to be inclusive because you are under the same roof and he providing you a safe roof, and we have to give God thanks for him and pray for him. Pray that he would see the light that's coming through the little crevice so that he can know whether it's day or night. That's what we have to pray for. We can't sit down there and having people around and recognize them to be not on your side, because just remember that our God Jehovah, he prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies.
They have to see you eat.
They have to see you eat. He has to make sure your children eat. Yeah?
Yeah.
We have to make sure the table is clean, well washed, polished. Even if you don't want to share what you have, your food with him, hello. We still have to make sure that we keep ourselves clean, fresh, anointed, before the devil could find a space in between. So what we're doing is just to keep the so-called devil away. They said an apple a day.
Keeps it out away.
Keeps it out the way.
So to keep peace every day, you have to keep war away. We don't want to live in war, we're living in peace.
Yeah.
So to my girl Allie Gee, if you had a magic wand, what big charitable act would you implement today? Or you're already there, so let's hear about it.
Mama Coco, you know I want to save the world.
Hey, I know.
That is my dream. But
we had a little conversation and it went on for how much hours?
Oh God, Mama Coco, we almost burned down the phone. The phone them started to get hot in my ears.
So I heard what you said. The people want to know.
Well, today, if I had to choose among the things that I would like to do as far as charity, if I had that big, powerful wand and I could wave it and make something happen, every single Trinbagonian that is stranded outside of Trinidad and Tobago today will be safe at home.
Oh, everybody could give a round of applause. Let us show the audience that we need a round of applause. This is such a powerful topic that you just started there. I see a young girl with a video. Her mother get blown up. Yeah. Get blown up in Tobago. In Tobago, not even Trinidad.
Yeah.
From a gas explosion. And she's begging. She's begging everybody in the powers that be to give her a pass to come home to bury her mother.
And Mama Coco, she's not alone. There was a young man whose mother died, and he's the oldest, and they're Hindus.
Yes.
And when someone is a Hindu and you die, your oldest child, the oldest male child, has to light your pyre so that the air that they considered the last breath of life in your body is released when your pyre is on fire and your body incinerates. And I don't know if he was allowed in because I haven't heard of him since, because they're sneaking people in, right? The DJ from Canada that was playing music in Canada about a week or two, she's now in Gulf City turning tables.
Oh.
Okay. So, if
you guys sure it's not an old tape?
No, Mama Coco. Live. And if we want to discount that one, we all know that Penny is home, right? Penny's home for the elections, and so is Barry.
My goodness. So you're right.
Mama Coco, this thing is favoritism.
Penny belongs to the PNM party.
Yes, Mama Coco, people are out here. This morning, I saw a video. That was the first video I saw this morning when I turned on my phone. And it was this older woman, and this woman, I saw death in her face, Mother Coco. This woman has been out there since March, and she started to cry. She said, I'm not the same person anymore. I have to pay $40 a day to pay to stay in a one room. I have my home in Trinidad, my family in Trinidad. Please, ministers, government, please let me come home. People are begging to come home. And you know what's killing me, Mother Coco? You know what's killing me? It's killing me that you're not allowing people in because of COVID. But on the 18th of August, you're letting CPL have a cricket match, a tournament, CPL, and over 100 persons per team will be in Trinidad and Tobago. How does a cricket tournament go over our citizens who are out here running out of resources, getting put out? Okay? Family out here, friends out here. When you don't spend that 2 weeks or 6 weeks time to go, because we got bills and you using up my electricity and you're eating up my food. Hey. So people are getting put out, Mama Coco, all over the world, and the government of Trinidad and Tobago is not letting our people in. If I had a magic wand, everybody would be home.
So we have a video. You raised this deep conflict that we are experiencing. I know my girl Nicola, be open-minded. Family, be open-minded with the video, and let's deal with people pain and leave politics out. everybody, Princess,
yes.
Allie Gee, let's leave politics out. But I see you ain't leaving politics out. You want politics to come with policies for healing and for help.
Mama Coco, everything is political.
Everything from church.
How much you pay for that sugar? If you could buy pad or if you have to use toilet paper. Everything is political, Mama.
Hey. This is the video of the young woman that lost her mom to an explosion there in Tobago, a gas explosion. We're not hearing. Yes, but I think my volume had to go up. But people hearing. Are you guys hearing?
Yes.
I'm not.
Bless you. So we could stop the video now because we have to talk and we are going close to 4 hours. And we just want you guys to get the gist of the story and to understand that flights are leaving Miami with rich people's national movement, voters. And I ain't here to bash anybody. It doesn't matter anymore. This is not about politics anymore. This is about policies, principles, and people. Humanity. And if it's good for the goose, trust me, Ganda wants the same thing. And if it is good for a genius, which is a female donkey, it is good for every jackass, which is a male donkey.
That's right. Yeah.
And right. I just don't know what's next. Is it priority or privatizing? Yes? Are we clearing obstacles or are we making obstacle course? Can we get over or are we going under? You could bring them home and let them go into a quarantine, but they're close enough and you could take them to the funeral or yourself, drive them very quarantinely. I don't know what is this big thing. Put them in mask. Don't cover their eyes. They're not there to talk much. They could cry through the mask. They could speak through the mask, but they can see. If you're allowing 25 people, families that live abroad could be one of the 25. They can stand 6. They could have their 6-foot barrier and ranging. This is going on too much.
Bad.
You're having people being subjected in New York and other parts of the world without food.
Yeah.
Without have to face this pity party. You know what she been never nice to me now. Remember what she do me and me? People don't want that.
Yeah.
They have their homes.
Yeah.
Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, I am calling your name today in the name of Jesus Christ. And I'm asking you to be completely open. Stop annihilating. Stop violating the laws and the restrictions that you believe we're supposed to live under. I want you to understand that there's a way that seems right unto mankind. The end thereof could be the ways of death. If it were you, you would have made different plans for yourself, your big friends, and your big families. Do unto others as you would like to be done to your children. If you should pass away, if you should die, stop the politics over people's strategy.
Yeah.
Say, I'm a sinner saved by grace. I am a sinner saved by grace. I am a sinner saved by grace. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's not about you alone. It's about everybody. If it was good for Paul and Silas, if it was good for Paul and Silas, if it was good for Paul and Silas, it's good enough for me. We want to share love like, give me that old time religion. Give me that old time religion. Give me that old time religion. I say it's good enough for me. It was good for the Hebrew children. It was good for the Hebrew children. It is good for the Hebrew children. And it will be good enough for us. I just want to say something else. I'm being told to go back to the question for Nicola Hinds. See, when the Spirit moves in me, I can't delay. When you have something to do, you have to get it done. You can't prostitute while people should be persecuted. You see, because we're living in such lives and anything can work, the things that could really work, we're not even seeing it because we are in the darkness. We're living a life of lies. We're sitting on a throne of lies. These people are suffering. These people want to come home. Naomi and Ruth, they went back home.
See, we have someone there who's stuck.
We have people here who's stuck. There is a motion to get home. They leave their children behind. They leave business to be taken care of. They leave their life to be taken care of. These people are strangers stranded in a foreign land. Why we have to be pleading and begging? That is how they have the people in Trinidad and Tobago, everybody, all politicians. This is no one man blame. They have us so dependent on them, and they're always putting us in the spot to beg. The Bible didn't tell us to beg. The Bible said, ask, and it shall be given.
Seek.
Seek, and we shall find. And knock.
And the door will open.
And doors supposed to open for you.
Yes.
They are knocking in America. They are knocking in Miami. They are knocking in Canada. They are knocking all over the world. They want to come in. And according to the knocks of life, this is not hard knock cafe. Jesus said, if you know, if you hear my knock, open the doors, and I will come in to sup. Keith Rowley, you are in no way, physically, mentally, spiritually, to shut doors on Jehovah's people. Give it up now. Because my God is an awesome God. and he reigns from heaven to earth. But he reigns with wisdom, power, and with love. Again, our God is an awesome God. Be careful, Brother Keith Rowley. Use science. Use medicine to complement what you are about to do. Seek knowledge, for knowledge is power. Stop leaning on your own understanding, giving yourself credits and fame. It's not about you anymore. Stop introducing and indoctrinating all the time, you politicians, spirit of fear. Our God didn't create us with a spirit of fear, but with a strong mind. Be open-minded and bring your people home. Say, prodigal sons and daughters, come home. Prodigal sons and daughters, come home. Oh, how we'd have loved to hear that song coming from Sister Wendy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Prodigal sons and daughters, come home. It is the hands of God that's writing on the wall. It is the hands of God on our wall. It is the hands of God on our wall. It is the hands of God on our wall. It is the hands of God that's writing on our wall.
Amen.
I send this out to Brother Keith Rowley and all the guys that supporting him and all the women of Trinidad and Tobago. As mothers, we're not even getting ready to fight back this narcissistic attitude of the Prime Minister and his boys of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
Don't be afraid, my people. Not because you're paying them, I'm paying them too. But I don't swallow every pill that PNM give. You see, PNM don't know my complaint, so they cannot give me medicine to suit my complaint. I have a problem. People stuck in America with young children. So I close with Jen. Till Jesus meet and mine. Cup on this little. You know the reason why some people could be heartless? Some people don't have a heart.
Yes.
Not because they have a heart and they're heartless. They don't have a heart. If you have a heart and you're a mother, you're a woman, many things that are happening to our people and our young women and young men of Laventille. I know it ain't no politics day, but we need to have a heart.
Yeah, we do.
Back to our questions. Peace, dear God. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O God. Because only those who are spiritually grounded and minded could understand my language right now. The spiritual mind could understand spiritual things. And the worldly mind, we still can't even understand because we don't have what? A heart. So if you had a magic wand, whose question is it now?
Nicola.
What big, everybody, charitable act, this is for Nicola?
Listening to this story, it's so hard. It's so disheartening, you know. And if I have a magical one right now, I will charter a plane and have all these people that are stranded to go back to their life. Come on now, this is ridiculous. Even
if you have the chartered plane, the plane can land.
Yeah, but I would have to get in the heart of Keith Rowley because come on now, open up your heart now. You know, the heart of a man is desperately wicked. Who knows this? It's not time for this. You know? That's to get these people back to their lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, sometimes I used to wonder, when I read the Bible, I read of Joshua, and I read of Yahshua. Yes, I read of Elijah, and all these people. They never pray or call out to God in silence without calling names. That's why we are saying, Keith, only now. Brother Keith, you have to open up your hearts and open up the doors to bring your people in. You can't be saying that, so what? You rather them stay up here in the COVID and Stuart Young and all other people. I'm going to get your guys' names and I'm going to use my knees later with a prayer. I ain't saying I ain't praying anymore. So when you guys are ready to think, I am going to pray.
Yeah.
But when you're back against the wall, Jesus taught me how to pray. And I pray with names and numbers. Because God will know us by our name and our number. You know, when you're baptized in the spiritual Baptist, I don't know about other religions, but once you baptize and you get out of the water, they come and they're whispering in your ear. They ain't telling you they want sex tomorrow, you know. They give you a name, a spiritual name, and a number. So who ain't know and know? But I'm breaking the secret code. When you come out of the water and you see that Baptist grab you, and they bring you into them and you see that leader get ready to say something to you. He ain't telling you how to find him for Obia, you know. He giving you a name and he giving you a number. Sometimes it's 4 of you baptized, so you're getting a name, a number between that. That's why yesterday when our sister, being Pentecostal, find herself in the valley without a ladder, she called on her Baptist sisters to pull her out. I didn't know nothing about that. She didn't call me. I called her. When I called her, my first song was Out of the Deep I Go. Ask her, she's there. To thee, oh Lord, to thee. I called her, she didn't call me. And that was the song I raised. I said, I called him. And then the other song was Dento. That's a pastor, a Pentecostal pastor. But a Baptist woman of God called her. I said, if I sing with you, would I be out of place or out of order? She said, no, I welcome it. What's going on with me today, I welcome this. And the tears, and you know, we went on. Ask that woman how long our phone call went for. More than an hour and a half. When I call out, I am responsible. Because I'm dealing with a God that knows it all. I ain't calling on no God and no maybe and could have or could have been. I'm calling because I have evidence of who he is. When he knocked on my door, I recognized the knock because I had an acquaintance with him. And I opened and he came in to sup with me. That's why with me it's not about sex right now. It's not about confusion. I'm here to take the confused to a different space. I'm here to let politicians know it will be a new day. Because the new generation ain't taking what we took. It's not about politics anymore. This is not about party. This is about procedure. And when I said I attack this thing very surgically, I'm serious. I ain't going for who is Indian from who is Negro.
That's right.
Negro have heart, Indian have a heart. Let's use our heart. Let's stop blaming people. How long the Bible said, shall you mourn for Saul? Is his kid stranded or they just don't want to go down? You know, I ask deep questions. You know why I ask deep questions? I'm coming from a deep place. For deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. I go all places. Because the Bible tells me, and you guys hear it too, that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So why we stay in one place? Why are we one place? When he said to us that we can do what? All things. Bring the people home. Have a testimony. I bring 100 people home and only 1 or 2 come down with COVID. But you can't stranded everybody because of your doubts and your fears. So we have one more question we will do. We have many more, but I was to take this to the level that my sister bring it to. Allie Gee, you took the life to a different level. We ask the questions and you provide your answers. Nicola provide her answers. She's saying if she has money, listen how far she would go. She would charter a plane and pick up the people of New York and anywhere else in America. But remember, we have people in Canada too. We have people in Caribbean islands too. Don't show up to show off. We have people in UK, the United Kingdom. You can't punish people for their liberty. We were fought from the love, I'm telling you, no hatred, of liberty. From the fires of hope and prayer. So this is why I'm using prayer. Because my country would respond to prayer. Keep Rowley, you have to respond to prayer. Peace. You're not number one in. If your hand get exposed, if you never get a chance to face the devil, you wouldn't know how great God is. I want to preach to somebody.
Amen.
If you ain't test your people, keep rolling, you don't know who is carrying the virus. I want to talk to somebody.
Amen.
Stop taking credit because you didn't approach it. My cousin Nicola Hinds here today, she can talk to you about marriage and she can tell you the telltale signs to look for. Am I right, cousin Nicola?
Yes, you are. That's why I'm strong and resilient woman. Men come around me now and they'll be like, oh my God, you're so independent. That's why you cut style on men? Yes, because I'm strong, I'm resilient, and I know what I want and I know what I'm looking for.
And when you know what you got wasn't acceptable and now you're not going to repeat it.
Right. When I see the red flag, I wave it as high as I can and run.
You could only talk something that you assume.
Yeah.
If you ain't going to a college, you could just read up and know something to talk about. Have you been to college? Have you faced college as a Caribbean black man or a Caribbean black woman? Talk to me, people. They say who feels it knows it.
That's right.
They say who is in the kitchen once you could cook.
Feel the heat.
Feels the heat. My daughter say I'm shouting, but I have to show. This is the part of my spiritualism. I can't talk secrets.
Mm.
So it's almost 8 p.m. on the East Coast and and in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have some questions from the audience. Some comments. Anne Marie Atta is saying if he brings in his daughter, he knows what the backlash would be like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes you have to take the message home, You got to involve people's personality and their life in order for them to understand that, hey, I would have liked my kids to come home. If the result that the doctor have to give to him is deadly, and you have 1 month to live, don't sit down there and calling on God now. You wasn't listening to God before. He ain't going to be taking your phone calls. You will want your kids to come home, won't you?
That's right.
Stuart Young, what you have to say about this? This lady that don't know you, but I believe you know me by now, can know you guys, or you guys just pack hate as if it's a little lunch kit. Well, let's pack all your lunch kit with hate. Well, let's pack all your lunch kit with victimization. All your condoms are called what? Victimization. You know you guys use it, but you know what that's behind it? Victimization is the label, is the trademark.
Yep.
You know what they're going to do to me? Issue some kind of an injunction that I can't come back to Trinidad and Tobago. But I think that could ever happen. Number one, God is going to remove you guys according to his will and his purpose, which is arriving fast and unfolding in every hour. You can't touch me.
That's right. That's right.
For the Lord is my shepherd today, and I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He also leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So there are brothers down there who want to bring up all your new laws, sedition, and all kind of crap. He promised me. For yet though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, I fear no evil. For thou art with us. Your rod and your staff promise to comfort us. Dear God, you promised to lay tables. So I ain't looking for friends. Because I know I could still be in your company. Because God don't lay table for friendship. He doesn't lay table for friends. He laid tables for our enemies.
Yeah.
And I don't sit down until the Lord gives me a seat. For the Lord said unto my Lord, sit down on my right hand until I make thine enemies what? Your footstool.
A footstool.
I hope I'm not making anybody uncomfortable.
No.
Nobody.
At all. At all.
People that are called by my name, he said. If we
Shall
all
humble
ourselves and pray.
And seek.
Seek him. We have to turn from our wicked ways. He said wherever he is in his heavenly spaces, he's going to look down and he's going to heal our land. So I'm praying for healing, Keith Rowley. I hope you are ready to be rubbed down and anointed with the balm. For the Lord said he is the saving strength of his anointed ones. So we don't need your strength. We don't need to see your power. For the Bible said it's not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord. Don't make me start to preach. You start, you're preaching already, Mama.
You're preaching. Oh Lord my God.
Jesus this hour.
And I think in awesome wonder. Hey.
I consider all the things thy hands have made. Sing.
I see the stars. I
hear the rolling thunder. Yes.
I come to
while you're young.
Then
My soul.
My Savior to thee.
Sing, sister, sing. Yes.
How great thou art.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, my Savior God to thee. Oh, great thou art. Hallelujah. Oh, great thou art. How great thou art. We're going to shake the walls of the Parliament of Trinidad. Oh, we're going to make people move. We're going to make people move. We are the woman for freedom, yeah? We're not here because we're pretty. Oh, yes, we're gorgeous. The Bible said it's not by your might. It's not by your power. But by the Spirit, saith the Lord. Let us get some question. Daryl O'Neill family, she's saying, praise. We have to stop praying the way we used to pray. We have to ask God to teach us how to pray, teach us what to pray for with reverence and with grace. We praying wrong. We praying so that people could get healing and touch them and they fall down. Teach people how to pray. And remember, it's not only Christians that pray. Remember, prayer is coming from every angle. He said every kindred, every kind. He is God of all. So we have to remember that. That is why we just get lost. They're not like Hindu. They're not like Muslim. You're not like Christian. Trust me. All things work together for good. For those that love the Lord. And He blesses us. And He gives us blessing according to His riches in glory. So,
David
Ramjan, go ahead, Princess.
David Ramjan is asking, what influenced you to leave Trinidad and Tobago? Why America? Do you see yourself permanently moving back in Trinidad and Tobago at any time in the future? I'm in the same boat, and I know my own answer. Just curious to hear yours.
Yes, Allie Gee.
Okay, my friend David, there's a whole set of questions in one, but I can answer. I was influenced to come to the US because of education. I think I said that before. My sister extended her hand to me and said, Ali, I know you like your books. So here's an opportunity to go to college. So that's why I came to America. And that is why it is America. Because I had a family member here who was sponsoring me to come to school here. As far as if I will stay here permanently and not return to Trinidad, that will depend on the politics of Trinidad. Back to it again, right? It's all politics. My intention was never to come here and stay. It was to get my little degree and run back home. But, like Jonah, who said he wasn't going, God had a plan for me. And God said, you going where I tell you to go, and you will stay where I tell you to stay for how long I tell you to stay. So this journey was not of my, I didn't want to come, to be honest. I came reluctantly, but only because the carrot that was dangled in front of me was education. And
you always a reader, yeah?
Oh yes, Mama Coco, I told you I think I probably read over 1,000 books in my life.
Yes, I asked you that, yeah.
I used to read a lot. I gave away so many books because I started to buy them, and when I realized how many boxes of books I had, I started to go to the library and I would borrow 5 and 7 books at a time, and I'll read 5 and 7 books a week.
Yes.
Because reading was always my passion, and I gained so much knowledge. My vocabulary expanded, exponentially in those days when I used to read. So going back to the question, as far as staying here permanently, right now, what I am seeing on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago is it's too much of dictatorship. It's too much, people's liberties are being cut short. I'm talking to Trinbagonians on the ground, and the things that they're saying to me and the things that I'm seeing when I'm going home, right now it doesn't make me say, it doesn't say to me, come home and live. I can come home and spend certain amount of time. My mom is still there, and wherever my mother is until the day they put her underground, that is home for me. I'm not home until I'm with my mother.
Hey.
But David, to answer your question, I think the last part of it is it depends on politics, because you don't get used to living at a certain quality of life and then want to go back to something that is less than. And I did try to be part of the change by joining a political party, and what became of that. And as I look on the ground now, as we're approaching elections, I am praying. I am praying like Mother Cora. I am praying in the valley, because it's something supernatural has to happen to change the tide of what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago today, for Allie Gee to pick up and leave from America and say, I'm coming back home.
Well said. That's your heart, right? That's what you're saying, and that's final.
That's my heart on this topic, yes.
On this topic. So to my cousin there, Nicola, that's the same question for you too.
Okay.
And it's on the screen if you want to pick up on it.
Yeah.
You can read it over and then answer us.
I don't think I was influenced to leave Trinidad and Tobago to come to America, but what I do know, I always wanted to be with my mom, because I think daughters need to be with their mom, because that relationship, mom-daughter relationship. I had family here, and I wanted a better life, and I can go into a little topic that's a little off. The reason why I used to visit and go back. I never could have adjusted to say, let me live in America. It wasn't my culture. I had a real big culture shock. But then when I permanently came here and, I got an education here, and I furthered my life, and I developed my life, and I built myself here, that is something that is big to me. I don't think that I will ever move back to Trinidad and Tobago permanently, because Trinidad and Tobago did not build me on a whole. Because after I graduated from high school, I had family who was in the government, in THA, that make promises and never fulfill promises. And, just being like a young adult, trying to find her way. I didn't have that structure. So America kind of give me that. They welcome me. I go to college here, working all my adulthood. So going back to third world, I'm sitting here sometimes watching what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago, especially with the politics, the healthcare system. They're still third world. So I cannot take myself after I build myself. I'm not saying that I'm too big, but after I build myself to this, to go back to something less of myself, I don't think I will think about permanently residing back to Trinidad and Tobago. I love my country on a whole, but it's not something that I'm looking forward to doing in my future, because my kids are American citizens. So
So what in politics really that you think could change in the future?
It's too much. The changing of politics is too much favoritism.
Nepotism.
Everywhere is nepotism. It's too much of that. And even if there's nepotism, it's not rather who you know, it's who know you and who's looking out for you. We're not supposed to just help this one because
So you qualified. You believe if you go back, nepotism will still keep you down even if you qualify?
Yes, absolutely.
That's deep.
Yes.
Because people telling you, we need you to come back. We need you to come back. Like they tell my daughter. My daughter looking for a chance, a place to open to open up an office, to bring her expertise to Tobago. And the amount of immigrants, the amount of people who just want, because they hear she's doctor, they call it $1 million for a piece of million.
Yes.
And they just throw her off. Even the banks that she went into, subjecting her to so much drama. They want your social. I was there, I could talk.
Yes.
She's not angry. They want your social security number. They want to know how she gets your money, how long it takes to get that amount of money. But then money is in tourism in Tobago, disappear and nobody can give a comfort.
There we go. And then it's somebody who is less qualified than her, who is just simple, because I know somebody big, it's easy for them to get whatever they want there. So,
So it's a no for you right now. You're not brain drain. You know, it's too much. They want too much out of people and such little to damn off.
Slack out to the treasury. True, David. Mama Coco, it's so sad as a Trinbagonian, because you hear what comes out my mouth. You don't hear me say Venezuelan. You hear me say Trinbagonian, because that's why I know myself. You know, when I think of my charity work is geared towards Trinbagonians, people on the ground, you know. And it is sad and it is hard. You know, the truth is what Nicola said and what I had to say. And you know, David is evidencing our arguments against why. I hear you loud and clear, but I hate, Stacey, we hate to have to say Trinidad and Tobago is a third world country. We come from home. But the truth is, Stacey, that when you have to go in the bank and line up like if you're a prisoner.
Stacey, come on, Stacey.
It's not nice to hear it, but
you know the meaning of third world? We have third world.
It is sad. Stacey, when a minister in the government who was there for 4 years, going into 5 years, mind you, it's a government that has been there before. He has been there. His bread has been buttered from government butter, right? Could turn around and say that when he went to England, that he was shocked that people had water 24/7. That should be disturbing. That should be sad, because we are an island. We are surrounded by water. There's no reason why we should be having water problems. When it rains, people are flooded out. Stacey, this is the things that make us a third world country, because Dubai, that is a desert, don't have water problems. But mind you, in certain neighborhoods, they get water 24, 365 days a year. So what happened to the rest of us? We are people too.